In terms of issues facing sanitation workers, JTUM condemns the disrespect by the Minister of Public Utilities for his refusal to acknowledge correspondence and a proposal from the Industrial and General Sanitation Workers Union. This proposal is aimed at creating greater efficiencies in SWIMCOL's operation. Imagine that, and the minister reject it. Today, we at JTUM also condemn the disrespectful treatment to all the sanitation workers, especially because they risk their lives and health working in one of the most hazardous environments in the country, especially in this pandemic.
Good day, Trinidad and Tobago. I am Ozzi Warwick, General Secretary of the Joint Trade Union Movement and Chief Education and Research Officer of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union. You have just heard another excerpt from the Labor Day feature address delivered by the President of the Joint Trade Union Movement, Comrade Ansel Roger. Of course, the Labor Day feature address dealt with a whole range of issues, one of them being the issue of sanitation workers. Well, we have with us the President of the Industrial Sanitation and General Workers Union, Comrade Robert Benacia. Good day, Comrade Benacia.
Good day, comrade. And thanks for having me on the program.
Yes, no problem. Now, you would have heard the clip from that Labor Day feature address where Comrade Roger talked about the disrespect meted out to sanitation workers, especially from the Minister of Public Utilities. Would you agree with that? Are sanitation workers who provide such an important service being treated with disrespect?
Well, first of all, comrade, I want to let the country know, and whoever is listening, wherever, that sanitation workers have always been frontline workers. And prior to the pandemic and during the pandemic, all workers have been risking their life. And Comrade Roger is right in stating that the new Minister of Public Utilities has been disrespectful. We have written the minister just as he came into office, calling for a meeting and identifying ways that SWIMCOL could not just only become profitable, but even contribute to the national purse. He has not responded, and part of that correspondence entails a proposal showing where the company could make an additional $288 million annually that could help with the transformation of our dumps, because as you may know, we do not have dumps. Our workers work in one of the most hazardous environments. So this additional revenue, other than the commercial aspect, could have greatly reduce the need for government funding and make SWIMCOL one of the most successful state-run enterprises. For some strange reason, even prior administrations have refused proposals from the union as though there's a deliberate plan to stifle SWIMCOL's ability to earn so that they can privatize it. I have no other way to justify why they would refuse making the company profitable. And this is always at our workers' expense, because I don't know if you know the dumps or people know the dumps, but all workers face waste coming from the industrial sector, medical sector. You're looking at things like carcinogens, and we need to transform our dumps because they're poisoning the environment also. And no government so far for decades has shown any respect or value for the life of workers.
So is it that the Minister of Public Utilities responded to your correspondence or your proposal?
We have not had any response from him. And the thing about it, SWIMCOL also has the commercial aspect of their business, and somehow there seems to be a deliberate plan to stifle the profitability of that department by contracting out of work. And this is always at the expense of workers, because our workers work for among the lowest wages in the country. We have people working 20, 30 years, working for $4,000 a month, risking their health and their life every day. And during this pandemic, at greater risk from every cough and sneeze, from every rag and tissue, from home quarantine and community spread. So all workers are at greater risk, and somehow, there's always a task to get recognition and respect for the value of the function of sanitation workers in this country, especially by government.
Which is interesting because they actually play such an important role in the society. Waste has so much health implications and the fact that these workers are out there ensuring that our waste is disposed of, being treated with such a level of disrespect tells us something about our society.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, our workers in particular at Bonapo Forest Park and at the JTUM, we have recycling workers situated at those locations that are at risk, serious risk, just like the workers that work in the dumps itself. And we need to have a level of respect and value for the workers' lives. And it seems as though sanitation workers does not have families and should not aspire to give their families a decent standard of living. And with the failure of successive governments to implement international standards in waste management, while we have dumps in Trinidad, this puts our workers at greater risk. Not only the workers, but the environment and the public. Because these hazardous chemicals blow as dust. We have methane, you name every hazardous material and chemical that comes into that dump, blends up with dust, blows, and comes back out on trucks and distributed around the country. So is the environment, the public, and the workers being directly impacted, and yet still we given government, not now, but previous governments, proposals to make the company more efficient and profitable, and they just seem to want to stifle positive growth. I guess it's to privatize, because that seems like norm now.
I mean, that is always the tragedy, where you have unions who are always putting forward proposals to make the entity more efficient, more profitable. The union is ignored, and then when the company runs into problems created by decisions that the management takes, they then want to blame it solely on workers, when workers were the one trying to craft a way forward for the entity. And in this case, you have the sanitation workers with their union providing a proposal to make swim call more profitable, and that is being ignored. Let me, Comrade Benacia, on behalf of the labor movement, really thank our sanitation workers. We must recognize that they are an important and an integral part to the functioning of our society. So we want to thank you and thank all our nation's sanitation workers.
I just want to make one closing point. We have roughly 150 workers, 150 to 200 workers servicing the waste of 1.4 million people, and are continually disrespected and basically no value for their lives, comrades. So look at the volume and the comparison to these small staff.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, that just goes to show how the powers that be really treat with the issue of sanitation workers, which is with a level of disrespect. But we want to show, from the labor movement point of view, we want to show our due respect to our sanitation workers. So thank you, Comrade Robert Benacia, President of the Industrial Sanitation and General Workers Union, responding to the issue of sanitation workers, which would have been raised by Comrade Roger on Labor Day. Thank you very much.